Hey everyone, in this session we'll learn how to detect, read and write files in Python. Let's start by detecting whether a file or a folder exists or not. I'll first create a folder over here itself. It will be under my main project folder, so I'll create a test directory. So I'll name it as test folder, and let's also create a file. I'll call it as example.txt file. So in order to detect the files, Python gives you two great options. One is OS module and the other one is pathlib module. I'll go to my py file, I'll import OS module. I'll create a variable named filepath. I'll provide the file name here, example.txt. And I can directly give the file name because my file exists directly under my project folder. And now we can use the OS method to identify whether the file exists or not. So I'll write if os.path.isFile, and then we'll give the file path over here. And let's print that file exists. Let's also write an else statement. File doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and run this now. So we got the message as file exists. So this is always going to return true if the file exists, otherwise false if the file does not exist. And also if you're using Python 3.4 or newer versions, you can use pathlib. So let's just go ahead and check that out as well. So here, rather than importing OS, we will go ahead and import pathlib. It should be from pathlib, import path. Here, let's just give the file and we would have to mention the path and the file name is example.txt. I would have given the full path if the file was not existing within the project folder. If let's say if I would have saved it on my desktop somewhere else, then I would have to give the full path. We'll see that in few minutes, but let's just go ahead with this now. If file.isFile, there's a function called isFile. So we'll go ahead and print that the file exists, else file doesn't exist. If I run this, we still get the file exists. But let's say if I give something else, right, which doesn't exist, I save, and if I run this, we get the message that file doesn't exist. So this is how you can detect whether a file exists or not. And similarly, we have other functions using which we can identify whether a folder exists or not. So let's go ahead and try that out. So first we'll define the path. So I'll give a variable as folder, and here in the path, I'm just going to give the folder name that I have here. And again, this folder exists within my project folder, so I don't have to give the full path. I can just mention the folder name. So test folder, and then we can check if this folder exists and if it is a directory or not. And depending on that, we can print a message. So if folder dot, there's a function called is directory, we'll print the directory exists. Else directory doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and run this. So if I run this code, I can see the directory exists. But let's say if I give another name which doesn't exist, it will give us the message in the else block. So the directory doesn't exist. But let's say if my file doesn't exist here, but rather somewhere else on my machine. So in my machine, under users and under my username, I have kept a folder and also a file. So I'll provide the path to this file and to this folder, and we'll see if it exists or not. So here I'll first check for the folder. And the name of the folder is test folder 2. If I save and run this, it will show the directory exists. But let me first give something which doesn't exist. And if I give 2, this is the name of the folder that I have kept. So it shows that it exists. And we can do the same for the file. So here I'll take file. The path is same. And here I will just have to give file dot is file, and we'll say the file exists or the file doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and run this. I would also have to change the file name, right? It is output.txt, the one that I've created and kept there. So if I run this, it says file exists, and let's say if I give something else, and if I run this, it says file doesn't exist. Now let's move ahead and see how we can read from the files. So here I'll just include some test content. So I'll just say this is a test file and I'll save this. So to read or write to a file, you don't need pathlib or OS module. So I'll remove this. So let's read the content from this file first. So you have to use with, and then you need to open the file using this method and give the file path. So here I'll just mention example.txt, and then we have to mention whether we are reading or writing. So we are going to read this file and let's give it a name as f, and while we are reading it, let's just store the content in this variable, and we just have to use the read function. So f.read, and now let's print the content. I'll save and run, and you can see this is what we have stored in the example.txt file. And here the with keyword is making sure that the file is properly closed afterwards. And let's say if your file is large, then you can also read your file line by line. Although this file is not large, but let me include another line here. I'll just mention 2, and let's go ahead. Here you can run a loop. So for line in f, and here we can use the strip method. So line.strip, and that's it. So if I go ahead and read it, you can see all the lines. So depending on how large your file is, you can either use the read method or you can use the strip method. Now in order to write to a file, there are two cases, right? Either you can overwrite the file or you can also append something new to the file. So here let's say if I just want to append, I don't want to overwrite the file, then for that we have to mention A, which stands for append, and then here we'll just use the write function and you can mention your content. So I'll just mention something here, appending this to the file. Let's save and execute this. Now if I go to the file, we can see the text that we added from there. And let's say if you just want to override the file, so here instead of A you can mention W, which stands for write, and here let me change the content. I'll just mention this is going to override the file. Save and run this. Now if I go to the example.txt file, you can see the updated content. One more scenario could be if you want to list all the files mentioned inside a folder. So let's say in this folder I have 2 additional files. I'll create one, let's say file1.txt, and I'll create one more in this folder, file2.txt. So for this, we can either use the OS module or pathlib. We'll remove this and let's import path from pathlib. We'll run a loop. So for file in, and then we can give the path. Either you can mention the path separately or you can directly write here. So the path is test folder here, and there's this function called iterdir, which is to iterate over a directory. We'll write a condition if file dot is file, then print the file name. Let's save and run this. So here we got all the files that exist under this folder. Now let's see how we can read or write binary files. By binary files, I mean like, images. It could be JPG or PNG image, or it could be MP4 videos. It could also be PDFs or doc file, or even if you have any audio file or any non-text file. They all fall under binary files. So let's check for images and PDFs. So here under my project folder, I have kept a sample PDF file. So let's go ahead and read this file. So we'll start with and open, and then we'll give the file path, and then we'll give R and then B, which stands for read binary. Let's name it as F. Let's create a variable for data and we'll use read method, f.read. So here you get the raw byte content of the file. So printing it as a text or trying to see is not going to help, because binary files are not meant to be human readable, right? So they are just sequences of bytes, and they only make sense to either programs, libraries, or code that knows how to interpret them. So let's go ahead and print the data first, and then we'll see what we get. So if you see here, this is the content of the PDF file. But of course, as I said, that will not be able to understand this. And if you print the type of this data, you will get the byte class. Save and run this. We get the class bytes. So basically, when you are doing any of this, you are manipulating the file as is. So for example, you are either copying or creating some backup files by duplicating a file. So in short, you never need to see the contents, you just move them. But here, let's say for any reason, if you want to read, or you can say parse a PDF file in Python and extract its content, then you can use pypdf2. So for example, for that you would have to install pypdf2. So let me go ahead and install this. So in pip install pypdf2, we can use this to parse the PDF file. So let me go ahead and install this. I think it should be pip3. Now here we can import pypdf2, and here let's parse. I'll give a variable as reader, and here we will use pypdf2.pdf reader, and we'll pass the file. And then we can use a function called extract text. For that, let's just run a loop. So for I, and then we'll also give page in enumerate, and then reader.pages. Let's take text here, page dot. This is the method that I was talking about, extract text, and then we can print the content. So let's use f string. Here we'll give the I +1, and we'll wrap it up with this, and let's go ahead and print the text. If I save and run this now, so this is the content that I have in my PDF file. So this was my sample PDF file. So it has been able to extract only the text, because that's the method that we have used. So not the images, but only the text. And then there are other modules as well. You can use PDF Plumber, which helps you to extract text, and even you can extract tables. And similarly, let's say if you have an image file, then you can use Hashlib, which will help in order to encrypt or compress image data. So basically, for any binary files to read or write, you will just get the raw byte content. But if you want to process any of those data, then you would have to use another tools, like any image processing tool or PDF parsing tool, the one that we just used here, or any encryption tools. And that's it for this session. Now you know how to detect, read, and write files in Python, including both text and binary files. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.